Hey folks, BlackCross here, and at first I didn't really felt like I wanted to do a video like this, mostly because, it's a 3-year anniversary video, but I figured, I'm sure I have something that I want to go ahead and talk about, so why not, right? So, this is the 3rd year anniversary video, and there's a few things I do want to go ahead and talk about, but let's go ahead and talk about the accomplishments that we have done in the past year, or rather that I have done. One of them being is finally moved into the apartment and out of my mom's house, which, no offense towards her or anything like that, I do want to have my own personal space, and I'm glad I finally do, and it's very nice. I do like it, very much so. But the second thing that I'm glad that I finally got to do was the fact that I finally got to do Twitch, finally, for my channel. And for the most part, it's been pretty good, actually. And I'm really glad that I've moved from, just strictly YouTube videos to now doing Twitch videos and everything like that. And I'm now done live stream for longer than, 30 minutes, and I'm able to do, an hour or so. And while it's not completely perfect, I do try to do it every day if I can. Sometimes that doesn't always happen, I admit that, but every once in a while, I do actually from time to time get a video made and everything like that, so that's always something cool to do. But, everything has been kind of weird for the past few months. Particularly in YouTube's case, I'm sure a lot of you have already heard about all this, what with Logan Paul and everything like that, and then there's this whole shakeup of how the internet's going to be changing and everything like that. And really, in all honesty, nothing has really changed since all that has happened, but at the same time, a lot of people are at a panic. And for some people, for that matter, there's even more concern going on out there than everyone. How can I put this? The best way I can say it is that right now we don't know what's going on and we don't know what's going to happen. But the thing is that I don't think anything's going to change, because nothing really changed before Obama put in this administration in effect. Nothing really changed. It just basically kept it from being changed. And what was this new system, whatever it's going to be, and I don't even think it's going to be in effect at all. I think they were trying to push it out there, but now that, people have made an outcry out of it and everything like that, I think now it's just been we're not going to do anything. They wanted to, but apparently they can't, because by the majority of the population itself says no. So, yay for us, because so far as I know, nothing's changed. That being said, YouTube, on the other hand, has changed. For the better? No. I think a lot of YouTubers can agree that the changes that YouTube are going through right now are not exactly within the best mindset. And I can understand why YouTube is doing what it's doing, is trying to protect itself because of what some people do. And it's because of people like PewDiePie and Logan Paul. I'm sure they're not the only ones. Surely to goodness they're not the only ones at the cause of this. But they are the main target that is causing all of this. And yet nothing's being done about it. Instead of it being targeted towards those type of people who do this type of stuff, it's been targeted towards us. And we have to sit there and just take the bullet. And yeah, it's not really fair. But at the same time, it doesn't affect me. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't affect me in a sense of that's because you haven't been on YouTube long enough. No, it's because of the fact that I'm not making any money at all from YouTube, or anything for that matter. I don't have a sponsorship, I don't have anything at all. And in my personal opinion, I think it's better that it stays that way. And I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why I say it's better that it stays that way, because number one, I still technically have a job, even though it's not the best. But at the same time, it's enough to pay the bills and enough to keep me continually collecting games and stuff like that. But would I like a better setup? Yes, I would, but at the same time, I'm not in a rush to do so. And the second reason is also because of the fact that, well, what I've got right now, I think I've got what I asked. I've said this multiple times, but for those that are new to the channel, I started this channel because of two reasons. Number one, tried to make money, which don't do that. Every YouTuber will tell you that same answer, and I'm gonna be one of those people. Don't do it because of the money. It is not gonna be worth it, because I mean, everybody has that mindset. Anybody that does something for a living or tries to pursue their goals, their first attention is obviously for the money. Now, some people may be different, but for the majority of the time, at least 9 times out of 10, some people do it for the money. You can deny it all you want, but that's a fact. It's a true fact, and it's basically there. You have to have the money to pay your mortgage. You have to have the money to pay for your bills. You have to have that money in order to pay for that shiny new car, or that brand new system, or that big ass giant TV that you want, or the entertainment system, so on and so forth. We all have to have that money in order to get the stuff that we either want, /need, /have to have. And I think people mistreat the system of money. You know, people say it's like, oh, well, you're greedy because of money. No, it's not the greed of money. It's the greed of wanting more money. You know, it's one thing if you have the money to pay all the bills and expenses and stuff. That's one thing. It's another thing of just having millions of dollars and that's all you do. It's just you want to reach that next level of a millionaire, which is kind of ridiculous. You know, but that's just how it is. That's how the world works, and that's how some people do work. Where there's some people, like the majority of us, is that we only need enough money to survive, you know? And I think that's what it is that that's all we want, is just enough money to survive, you know? But that being said, I think it's probably better that I try not to make money off of YouTube. Because the way things are, they're so shaken up that anytime there is something within that line of payment or ad content or anything for that matter, there is that contract fine line. And that fine line can change at any time. And what YouTube does, they change without you knowing it. They change without you knowing it, and the second they do notify you, it's already too late. It's been in effect for like months in advance. And it just, the way they're doing it, I get the feeling they're doing their own form of purging. And this may not be true. I'm willing to admit this may not be true. But the way I see it, they're trying to purge content creators. Like, they're trying to eliminate those that they don't want, and they keep the ones that they do want. That's why people like PewDiePie and Logan Paul are still around. You know, if they truly wanted to, they would have already kicked their content out of the park and completely erased their accounts. They could have easily done that. You know, something of this level, they could have easily done it, but they haven't. That's the thing, they haven't. They chose not to. You know, if they were strict about what they were doing, they could have easily done that. They could have easily fixed it up. But they didn't. The most they've done was, like with Logan Paul, was to do a suspension. But he was still making money at that point. Or at least that's what they were saying. And it's like, this is kind of ridiculous. So I mean, in a sense, YouTube isn't what it used to be about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, this may have been a possibility. Heck, I could even say within the past 8 years ago, this could have been easier content to get into. Now, everyone wants to do it, and everyone is trying to make it into the market itself. And at the end of the day, it's not worth it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't pursue it. No, that's not what I meant. I mean, it's not worth trying to make content and force it out in a fast velocity just to where you can accumulate some form of income, because it's too much frustration. Admittedly, YouTube wants you to make videos, but it seems like YouTube is forcing people to make more videos to where it can generate more money. Because at the same time as you're getting paid, they too are also getting paid a small sum as well. And so depending on the income that you get in, depends on how much of a cut they get as well. That's just how it works. You know, you are using their website, and therefore you have to answer that contract dealing, whether you like it or not. That's just part of it. It's like with eBay, when you're selling an item off of their website, they expect a 10% income rate. And that's just how it's been, you know? And it makes sense. When someone runs a website and you run off of that same website, you're basically renting that site in a form of sense. You know, it's much like where these small thrift stores, they take in a part of a strip mall and they have to pay the bill for owning that particular building in the strip mall. And if they don't pay the bill, well, they're not going to be staying for very much longer. Garfield, come on. Hold it up for me. Oh, Garfield. That works. Okay. My mic was not one to stay still, and Garfield was not one to hold it. Anyway, so it just makes sense that stuff like that would come into effect. But the good thing is that technically you can upload videos onto YouTube for free. It's just when you're a YouTube partnership and you get paid for stuff, then in turn you do have to pay that particular small percentage of fine, and you get a small chunk and they get a smaller chunk. And that's just how it works. And for me, in my case, I think YouTube is off that list of ideal agendas. I think the easiest way for me to possibly make this work, and this is a long jump, okay, this is a long leap jump. Even Evel Knievel couldn't make this jump, okay? Evel Knievel couldn't make it. But the only way I can make this work possibly in the best way possible is if I won the lottery. That way, I don't have to worry about needing money, and I can make the content freely. I can make anything I want, and I can do whatever I want. And that's how I would like to do it, you know? And it's funny. I've been thinking about it all the time, and it's like, honestly, now it would be impossible for me to stop doing what I'm doing right now. And I say this for a number of reasons. Number one, it more or less helps me out. It kind of blows some steam, kind of relieves myself from all of this like angstiness that goes onto my head. Cause I get stuff going on all the time. Like every so often, I'll have that one thought that bothers me and it pesters me so badly, and I have to talk to myself a lot just to kind of ease that out eventually. Sometimes I play video games to calm me down, and the majority of the time it's playing video games. And I enjoy doing that more than anything else. But making these type of videos kind of help vent my frustration of what I'm trying to say. And it's like, it makes sense whenever I'm hearing myself talk to myself. And it's like, okay, I see where I'm getting at now. And if I can understand it, that means you guys can be able to understand what I'm thinking and saying at the same time. And the second reason is because, awkwardly enough, for the very few times that I do get comments on my videos, I actually get that small sense of like, it matters, you know? And I say the few times because there are like at least a good 5-8% of the time I get those spammer ones. You know, the sub for sub, or hey, check out my channel, or hey, you should check out this video because it might help you out or something. Stupid stuff like that. No, the real comments are people out there who actually watch the video, who enjoy the content, and talk about the content itself, or talk about whatever I said was in that video. It gives me that sense that you do care and you want to know more about me. Sometimes you even give advice. Sometimes you're even like, hey, I know you don't care much for spoilers, but here's something that might help you down the road while playing the game and everything like that. Or hell, there are times whenever I'm playing through Final Fantasy, there's this one guy who's been commenting so far, he's been saying like, well, there are these summons that you do technically fight, and if you beat them, you get to attain them as summons. And it's one of those things where it's like, this is technically what I wanted. You know, this is technically what I've always wanted, was to interact with people when it comes to the video game industry itself, you know? And I myself am kind of biased when it comes to the video game industry, but I'm learning. I'm learning technically how the gaming industry works, and to some degree, I'm starting to make sense of the whole thing. Admittedly, I haven't got the whole puzzle put together, but one day I might finally come to realize that this is how it works. But for that matter though, I've been enjoying interacting with you guys, and it's been convincing me that why stop now? You know, why stop now? Even though I don't see any way of this working, or any way that I can make this into a full-time thing, why should I stop? You know, why should I? And the answer is, I shouldn't. I think that's the crazy thing, is that once you do something, even if you're not earning a single penny out of it, you end up staying with it. And I think that's crazy. But at the same time, it's a good feeling. Because another reason why I started doing this was because I wanted a different lifestyle. It's not a rich lifestyle, and it's not a better lifestyle than I wanted, but it is enjoyable, and it is helpful for me. And it's like, honestly, this is actually the best I've ever asked. You know, it's like, I wanted a better lifestyle, and it kind of is. In its own way, it is kind of better. And in the long and short of things, if I eventually do get to a point to where I can actually do this full time, then that's great. If not, then I still got what I want. So in a sense, I technically won. It's weird for me to say something like that in that sense of tone, but yeah, I won. I got what I wanted, and my prize is I get to enjoy it. You know? I get to enjoy making the content that I make. I get to enjoy uploading the videos, and I get to enjoy talking to you guys about what we've done and everything like that. Or what I've done, should I say. But it's just, it's enjoyable. It's a pleasure that I get to enjoy. And I'm glad that you get to enjoy it too. But at any rate though, I just wanted to go ahead and just kind of vent myself for the 3-year anniversary, because I thought to myself, I was like, honestly, I don't have anything that I want to say to incorporate for the 3rd year anniversary. And then all of a sudden my mind started speaking to itself, and it's like, well, I guess I do have something I want to say. So, at any rate though, let me know in the comments below of like what games you want me to play, or any ideals that you might think up of. And like I said, if you want me to do another one-shot playthrough, which is beat any game within 8 hours and something like that, let me know in the comments below. Any video suggestions, or hell, any rare gem games that you could think of, because I've been watching Metal Jesus and I've got a lot of games built up now. Not all of them are on my shelf at this moment, but I do plan on playing them whenever I get a point in time. So anyway though, thank you so much for your attention, and thank you so much for being with my channel so far. For any of you who have been with me from the very start, thank you so much. And for those that are new to the channel, thank you for subscribing to me. And I'll catch you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. See you later, guys.